What up, HyperChange? This is Julian here, and today we're going to talk a little bit about a comment that was received on one of the latest videos on Yelp. So shout out to a guy named Ronan.
Basically, Ronan has this pitch where he wants Yelp to be able to use its AI to do sentiment analysis on its reviews. So if he writes a review saying that his cheesy fries were soggy, Yelp would be able to recommend him like, hey, well, we used AI to mine our reviews and figure out another spot where they have better, fresher cheese fries that you should try next time. We think that is an excellent solution to the soggy cheese fry dilemma that all of us experience on a daily basis. But also, we think he's on a much bigger scheme, which is Yelp could, like, this, we had no idea, and this is why we love to read your guys' comments, so make sure you comment. But that opened up this whole other idea we had of, like, Yelp should then use AI to read, like, all of its reviews. We think that Yelp should develop a product or service where they give each restaurant or customer a customized report based on the sentiment analysis of their reviews. So they can tell you like, oh, well, when you deliver your food, you're getting much lower ratings because it's cold, or like one part of the fries are not good when it gets delivered, but when it's not, and they get there fresh, they're really good. So like there's all these ways to change their business, and they could give local businesses a customized report on like, here's all these ways to tweak your offerings and your food based on what consumers are saying. So I think that could be a totally, really exciting new business for Yelp. They need to figure out a way to get people to start reviewing a lot more, because obviously that'll be the core engine of data that they can mine to use this service. But, and I think the other side of this that we thought of was there's also a consumer product here where you're like, I want a burrito that's pretty good, but like not too good. Essentially a way for Yelp to use artificial intelligence to read your voice, like desires of food, and then start recommending you spots based on the reviews.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add one other point too about specifically like the business side. One of the things is like a lot of these reviews can be emotionally charged, or like you might be getting a bad review on your restaurant just because, you know, the food could have been great, but you know, one thing could take this guy's overall excellent experience to like piss him off enough to do a 1-star review. So just a little bit more like intelligent filtering to try and figure out what those like little sticky things might be to, you know, create an overall better image for your restaurant. And I think that same type of, you know, intelligence can also be used for a consumer facing product, because, you know, let's say I want to go to, you know, some dinner and I really don't care about the wait. You know, I'm really looking for a quality food experience. I don't care as much about the ambiance. I don't care as much about if I'm going to sit in line for an hour and then they're going to take 20 minutes to deliver my first water. You know, maybe that's a little exaggeration, but I'm really looking for a perfect food experience. And I think that this type of intelligence could help the consumer, you know, really weed out those bad reviews that were kind of taken down just because of something other than the food, or, you know, a different, you know, who knows? There's a lot of possibilities where I think intelligence or smart filtering can really be applied to the Yelp ratings to make it a better business.
Yeah.
Me personally, over the past 6 months, I've actually switched almost entirely from Yelp reviews to Google reviews. I find that they're slightly less emotionally charged. I don't know. I just, and maybe I'm just like way too hung up on this like emotional thing, but I think that what you know makes people write reviews, and it's usually some sort of emotional experience. It's either going to be like an emotionally really good experience, or like something ticked you off enough, and then it's, you know, an emotionally negative experience. And when I don't know, when I read the Google reviews, I think I just find that the community is less emotional and more like critical.
Huh. So how is Google doing that? How do they get what's behind that?
It could be just natural selection.
The haters go to Yelp?
Yeah, the haters go to Yelp.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest takeaway here is that Yelp has a ton of data at their disposal, and like this combination of all this growing vast pool of data and their ability to like synthesize it has a million different like applications in business. Like they can, like Julian said, start filtering out like, oh, like wait times are different than like food quality aspects of reviews. You know, that's just one example. Or like an AI kind of app for Siri or Alexa that just tells me which 5 restaurants to go to based on like 1 or 2 keywords I say. Then there's the whole business profile side where like I can send a tailored report to a business about what they need to work on based on reviews. So huge, like, and Yelp's moat is basically their data on reviews. And so we think if they can figure out a way to get people to make a lot more unbiased or unemotional reviews and like stop Google from taking away all this data, then they have a huge ability to like create a business around data mining it and like selling services around it.
I don't know. Yesterday was, I think, both of our first experiences using like Yelp as a queue. So
that was cool.
We went to a really cool brewery out here in Oakland. Shout out Drake's Brewery.
Shout out. Great beers.
So we, put our name on the list, and then we got a text message, clicked the link, and it actually took us to the Yelp app. And then there was this, fairly simple but pretty cool graphic that just shows you, what, where you are in the line, how many tables ahead of you. Was there estimated
that was pretty
weight?
Cool.
There might have been estimated weight. I don't know. But, expanding into those types of services, I think could save Yelp from just being an emotionally charged blog. Review site. Like, there's a lot of value, That's what we're trying to say. There's a lot of value in the data. They just need to, like, make it better.
Right? I feel like Yelp's big thing is needs to figure out a way to get normal people who aren't emotionally charged to start writing reviews. And, like, if they can get that going, then they're, like, they just have a explosion in data creation and opportunities. But how do they do that? Jay Filchi, I'm putting you on the spot.
How should Yelp get normal people to write reviews?
Yeah, they got a budget. They have $500 million in cash. They could,
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you became like an active. The other thing too. This is a random. Let me just answer this too because I just came in my head and I don't want to leave. But something that Amazon does in terms of reviews that I really like is you could see if it's a verified purchase or not. Like, if I could tell if that person actually went to the restaurant or not,
feeling that.
I think that would be a big hit in terms of the quality of reviews. But anyways, going back to Galley's question, one like random idea could be to have Yelp can kind of create some partner restaurants or something. And as a community member, maybe you could accumulate points by writing reviews, and then you could trade in those points to redeem them at a special community restaurant. So as you write reviews, you accumulate points, and eventually...
points go towards, like, discount?
Points goes towards discount, or, like, buy one meal, get one free. Who knows? But, I think it is something to think about, incentivizing people to write more reviews. The more data you have, the better intelligent products you can make with that.
All start comes with the data. Honestly, I feel like we're a broken record because we always say every company is turning into a data company, but that's true. It's happening. We're giving examples. Yelp is just one. I feel like I would love, as an investor, like, neither of us are own Yelp stock at all, but if I were, like, looking at this as an investor, I would love to see Yelp generate a big business stream that was like actionable insights from reviews, not just selling ads. I think that's a way better business. And then you're in the business of like helping businesses grow by like getting feedback from their customers, making it actionable. Like, I just think people like will be a lot more passionate about that. Should we talk about Yelp's culture problem? Because I feel like this is a good...
Yeah, but just one more thing too. Like, I don't really understand what Yelp is. It seems like it's an obvious thing because this could just be a great tool for like any restaurants, if they could have an easy mechanism for feedback, I feel like they would want to take that, And
totally,
Yelp could easily be the main place to do that, as long as they fix, some of the things we've been talking about and add intelligence to the data they're collecting. Yeah, so apparently there's also word on the street has it.
Yeah, word on the street
that there's
Silicon Valley rumors.
Silicon Valley rumors have it that there seems to be a pretty ugly cultural problem. Really high employee turnover rates and maybe some fishy selling techniques.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to put it. I don't know. Just kind of interesting that the rumor mill does swirl around that.
Yeah. I think it seems like there is a culture problem in terms of like employee turnover, productivity, from people that we've talked to, who've talked to people that worked at Yelp, which seems kind of like through the grapevine, and it is. But the gist of what we heard is that there's just no motivation, and you're kind of just cold calling restaurants in your local region and like bucking them to spend dollars on Yelp, which like isn't really exciting, and you're just kind of annoying them and selling ads. Like, I just think that's not a great way to align incentives and get either the business owner hyped about Yelp calling or the Yelp salesperson hyped about helping the business, because neither of that's happening. But if I'm selling you actionable insights and I'm calling up a restaurant owner and I'm like, hey, like, let's work on your BLT because the bread's getting a little soggy because you're over mayoing before you toast. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I can go in, do some BLT trials and like help this business grow, watch them become better. Like, as a salesperson, I think that's a lot more rewarding. So like our whole scheme of like, okay, now they need to pitch being a data company. Like, I think even a cooler part of that is the culture will become more about helping businesses grow using data versus spamming them and selling ads. So like, I think they can get a lot more employees incentivized correctly and like motivated and passionate about the mission of Yelp, which will kind of start to fix this culture problem and turn this into like the growth tech powerhouse data company that we think they could be.
Yeah, and I think too, like, that type of added value would help Yelp build a moat.
Huge moat.
Against services like, Google reviews, Uber Eats or something that has reviews on it. All these things kind of compete. If Yelp can kind of really present this added value thing to these small businesses rather than nickel and dime them per se to like get higher on their search rankings, I think they're doing a better service for small business owners and business owners in general. And I also think that's a harder intangible value to copycat.
Totally.
Because you're collecting all this specialized data and you're building essentially IP over how to take action on that data and help the small businesses use that data.
All right, Jay Filchi, thank you for coming on the show.
Of course.
He'll be popping up in more episodes soon. Stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching. Ronan, epic comment. Comment all your cheese fry business ideas, please, because we're coming up with great stuff on this. Anyway, for all you guys out there, we read all your comments and love to think about them. And like, if they're great and we're inspired, we'll make an episode about it like this. So please keep them coming. Thanks for watching. That's HyperChange with Jay Filchi, reporting live from Oakland. Good luck, Yelp. Give us a call. We're waiting. Peace.